Alright everyone, Joe Biden is a notorious liar, but the biggest lie yet is his pledge. There will be no new taxes on anyone if he wins, which thankfully I think is getting less and less likely as commie rioters that he's embraced keep burning down U.S. cities and in swing states, oddly enough especially, hazarding the Democrats now in Wisconsin. He promises that if you make under $400K a year, you won't pay any new taxes. Bull to the fucking shit. This is a Herbert Walker moment, and people were making that connection. Remember Herbert Walker Bush? Probably not. Read my lips. No new taxes. What was the first thing he had to do? Oh, yeah, sorry, I have to raise taxes because the budget's not balanced properly. I need more money to kill people. The Bush family was notorious for that sort of bullshit. The Clintons, too. And Herbert Walker was a Republican. And the Bush family loves Biden. They're all on board with his campaign. Every former Bush official is working for the Joe Biden campaign or has at least endorsed him. I find that... Yeah, the Democrat right now, leftists, you're being completely fucking goddamn conned by this bullshit moron. Anyway, I would rather read his actions than his lips. Now, Herbert Walker's lips were moving, therefore he was lying. The same is true of Biden. If he gets elected... Let's say he does goddamn absolutely nothing. At a bare minimum, the Trump tax cuts will be allowed to expire, which I believe they do in gradients over the course of several years. Your taxes will go up. Oh, it won't be a new tax, it'll just be a higher tax that already existed because the tax cut's gone. Screwing, by the way, people in my particular situation with self-employed income, right now I can get up to a 20% write-off of the 15% penalty that's imposed. By the way, Trump, if he eliminates the payroll tax, I would love that. Oh, it would help me a lot, and I'm in the middle class. I certainly don't make $400K a year. You will pay more taxes. Most of you, not everyone. I mean, if you're on the lowest echelon of society, you're not really paying taxes. Trump wants to eliminate what little amount you do have withheld. And so, even the super poor are voting against their own self-interest if they vote for Biden. Plus, the cost of goods and services will skyrocket when we enter another depression, which unfortunately would be a side effect because what will happen if Biden is elected? Trump is a money dude, big business magnate. Whether you like him or not, and some people don't, some people are more poor, average Americans, middle class or whatever, and you think, well, he's only for the super rich. The super rich do a lot of investing and they do a lot of infrastructural development. Right now, they're liking it. They're feeling confident. They're feeling happy because they know that Trump's not going to pass sweeping new regulations. Businesses, the stock market, investors and so forth, they hate anything surprising. They like the status quo. They don't like surprises. They don't like to be taken aback one day when they open the New York Times or they're watching CNN and they find out that they're going to be paying 10% more taxes next fiscal year. They start worrying, and when they get worried, they stop investing, and then the economy comes to a screeching halt while the population is still growing, which creates more unemployment and more problems. Sometimes this can death spiral, at least cause a bubble to burst. Trump doesn't have that problem. Biden does. You will pay more. He will raise your taxes. And by the way, it's probably bullshit on the surface as well as deep inside, too. Probably he would create new taxes. He's already talking about, oh, we need to tax the billionaires more, taking a line out of Bernie Sanders' playbook. Now, while I am hesitant to believe that he's going to magically do something that he hasn't done for 50 years, which is actually stand up to the establishment that feeds him his fucking milk, and his fucking prune juice at this point at his age. I don't think that's likely, but if he did, it would be economy wrecking. And it'd be new taxes. You can say, well, but those evil billionaires, they need to pay more. Okay. Any tax that you can levy on that excessive wealth will trickle down and you'll pay more too. It's just the way the economy works. What we need in the country is less taxes, across the board for the rich and poor alike. What we need to do is we need to simply simplify and restructure the tax code so that everyone is paying their fair share. There's a reason Amazon doesn't have to pay taxes and the mom and pop bookstore gets fucked. It's because the tax code is ludicrous. The way in which it's structured makes little to no sense. If you want to have small and regional businesses burgeoning across the United States and more people doing self-employed stuff, working, for themselves, sweat of the brow style, then you need to restructure the tax code and you can lower taxes for virtually everybody. Virtually, at least on the surface, top line, nobody has to pay more. Bottom line, the big corporations would have to pony up some money, but by the way, Biden doesn't just want to make the billionaires pay their fair share. He wants a massive medical overhaul and elements of the Green New Spiel and sweeping gun control, which would require the hiring of literally millions of federal agents to even begin thinking about imposing, by the way, this stuff costs a lot of money. Now, Biden hasn't properly explained where you get it. At least the socialists are honest. They're like, well, we'll just confiscate all the wealth from the rich people. We'll nationalize the entire U.S. economy and become essentially state capitalist, at best. You're ruining the United States in the process and removing the main reason why people would, by the way, want to come to this country. A lot of people with means would be leaving for greener pastures. They'd be thinking, Canada's looking awfully like an investor's paradise right now. Maybe I'll go to the frozen north. Go up to Manitoba. I'm going to go move to Churchill and hunt polar bears or something. Sounds more lucrative. Sounds like a better time. But I'm going to read his actions, not his lips. He's never met a tax increase he didn't vote for when he was in the Senate. Did he? He helped to architecture the tax structure under Obama, which created more taxes for virtually everybody. Again, even the lowest echelons of society feel the pinch. And then you have runaway inflation and other problems. I'm going to look at his track record and say for almost twice as long as I've been on this fucking planet, Biden has consistently increased taxes and been in favor of tax increases even when they didn't happen. He's never once deviated from that. I'm going to look at the track record and say, I call bullshit when he says, I'm not going to raise taxes on you unless you make at least $400K a year. What about some doctor that's managing to pull in $500K a year? Why should he get screwed either? Some chick spends, 14 years in school and then passes the bar exam, finally makes it, has to pay back hundreds of grand in student loans, by the way, is making $500K a year. Why should she have to pay more taxes? The working rich are consistently targeted, and it really frustrates me because I always figured that the way the tax system worked is if you really made a lot of money, you incrementally paid more and more and more. And what I've instead found out is that what ends up happening is if you make a little more money, like you're in the middle class or a working rich, you pay huge amounts, and then the people at the very top don't pay any goddamn thing at all because they've gotten kickbacks from people like Joe Biden, who again has helped structure the tax code that we operate under that rewards big corporations for offshoring and fucks small businesses. It took two to tango. This wasn't, Bush instituted evil tax code. It was Ronald Reagan's idea. The liberals supported it. Did Clinton ever change the tax code to benefit the middle class? Goddamn hell no. Did Obama? Fuck no. Will Biden? Nope. That's a guarantee. If he's elected, you'll pay more taxes. I know I will. At a bare minimum, again, even if he did nothing of his own, you would still generally pay more because the tax cuts would expire. And despite the goofy liberal press rambling about how supposedly it was a tax cut for the billionaires and the millionaires and it didn't help anyone else. No, it was a broadly working and middle class tax shave. People like me did, as a ratio of overall income to savings, people in the solid middle class got the most relief. That's one reason that the economy right now hasn't completely flatlined, because the restructuring of the economy Trump did several years ago has helped bolster the most productive classes of society. It has definitely helped us resist some of the coronatarian bullshit that's happened. Trump should get credit as of right now for the fact that we're not in a Great Depression. That's about all. Peace out.